Whaka-Ora Healthy Harbour Korowai. This is a piece of the meeting that I have been very much looking forward to. So, kaharoa.
Ngā kore rangatira mā tēnei anō ngā mihi ki a tātou. E te pau whakawhinako wairua i a tātou tēnā koe e te rangatira e tō tātou nei koro matua. E te tumu whakarai me mihi kātika a tātou te hononga kia kōrua tahina e arahi nei a tātou i tēnei wā. A ka tira, e koutou o tēnā taha. Koutou kua whakaō mai tēnei taonga o koutou te whakaora. Tēnā Korowai kua tau nei kei wanganui a mātou i tēnei wā. Tēnei anō ngā mihi kia koutou. Ai rā, he honore tēnei māku ki te tū hei rangatira, hei kai koro mo tōku rangatira nei ōku kāhui a Amorangi kia koutou i tēnei wā. Tēnā anō a te whakaora whakaraupo. Koutou te tira kua tau nei i tēnei ata. Tukunā tēnei taonga kia mātou i te ata nei. Anō nei tāku e tika ana te kōrero o tō tātou nei karakia. Whakapapa paunamu te moana. Kia tere te kā rohi kai mui a tātou i tēnei wā. Ia nā te kotahi tau i a koutou o te kāhuina i a koe e tahu. Ha te tau nei, kua tā koha mai kia mātou te kaunihera hei kaitiaki o tēnei Korowai. Hei arahi hoki i tēnei kaupapa. Nō reira rā, kia koutou tēnā taha me mihi kātika, mauri ora kia koutou, kai a koutou te wā.
Ka taki titi, ka taki tikaka, ka taki huki a hau. Ti hei mauri ora. Te mehi tuatahi ki te rukarawa, nāna nei nā me kato. Huri no ki ka mate kuihi a ki pō, haere. Ki ka mate o te motu a kāri, haere. Ki te whare o te atu manaki kia koutou, haere. Rātou kia rātou, tātou kia tātou. Nō reira te mea tēnā koe, huri no kia koutou katoa, ka whakatera, ka waikanui o te kaunihira nei, tēnā koutou. Ka tino nui te hariko o tapu nāku, ka kitea koe, James, huri no kia koe, Craig, waikanui o tātou, tēnā koutou, tēnā kōrua. Huri no kia koe, kaharoa, mihi mai, karaka mai, kia mātou te ope whakeeke mai nei i raro te tuanui o tō koutou nei whare e manaki kia tātou katoa, nō reira karaka mai, mihi mai. Ai, tēnei te Korowai, huri no te mea tino nui, Whaka-Ora. Nō reira, ka hoa mātou kia koutou i tēnei wā, mō te api, mō te tautoko te kaupapa waka wā. Huri no kia mihi nui kia koe mō tō karake i te tīmatata, mō tō tāta nei kaupapa tēnā koutou katoa. Anei rā te whānau whakaraupo, mā mihi nui kia koutou. Hapai te ana mahi e tautoko ana ki ngā ropu wai taha e. Ko tahi tera kia moi a, ko tahi tera kia wawata, ko tahi tera kia kahara, ko tahi tera Auwe, ko te me nui he tangata, hei api nei te tonga moana. Ka hoki mai nā hoiho me wai aua, ki nā wahi whakaupo e. Ko tahi tera kia moi a, ko tahi tera kia wawata, ko tahi tera kia kahara, ko tahi tera auwe. Tuturu whakamoa kia tina.
Tina.
Haume hui e.
Tai ki e.
Well, kia ora. I'm Peter Davey, representing Littleton Port Company, but that's actually a waiata that has been written for the Littleton Port Company. It's the first time it's been performed, so they didn't let me sing because I can't sing, but really appreciate, actually you've done a good job on teaching these guys how to sing, so well done. Look, I'm just going to say a few words and then pass over to Andrew, but we've been honoured to be the first host of the Korowai. And the Korowai that's on the table here embraces a plan, and when you look inside it you'll see a document, and that's the Whaka-Ora plan. And that plan is about improving the health of the harbour, the Littleton Harbour, from both the top of the mountains to the bottom of the seabed. So it's a totally embracing plan. As Littleton Port Company, we embrace that responsibility and take it very seriously. One of the things we've done with our environmental planning is not just target staying where we are, but actually improving the health of what we do. And the health of the harbour obviously is very important to us. The document itself has a number of signatories. There's ECAN, who have been a key driver behind it, and thank you, Bill. The City Council itself, Ngāi Tahu, and Ngāti Wheki and ourselves. And we've worked together, and Andrew's been a key driver from the Council in making sure that as a governance group we get a document we can all be proud of. It's not just about what we do individually, it's what we do as a whole. And I guess when we look at the harbour, we think about the health of it in a number of ways, but we're trying to get a better understanding of the science of the harbour. Littleton Harbour's Māori name is Whakaraupo, which means harbour of reeds. The head of the harbour used to be full of reeds, and that was a fish breeding ground where all the juvenile fish started and then moved out into the wider harbour. Over time, those reeds have all been removed. So one of the projects we're working on is how we actually restore those reeds. But restoring the reeds won't work on its own unless the water coming into the harbour is healthy, everything that we put into the harbour is healthy. So it's a combined effort which will give the harbour long-term health. I guess when I think about handing over this Korowai to the council, the important thing for us is for all of us to think about how we can contribute, both as governors and executives, to the health of the harbour and what we do on a daily basis to improve it. So the challenge really is for all partners to think about health of the harbour, improving it, and the ongoing relationship we have with it. So thank you, and I think now, Andrew, if you come forward, I'll pass you over the Korowai. Make sure you pick it up from the base.
Te aroha, te whakapono, me te rangi mari e tātou tātou e.
Kaurua, rangi nui e tū I hone. Kaurua, papatu anu koe takoto ake nei. Kaurua, ngā tua, kaurua, ngā tipua, kaurua. Ka eke, ki rongorope kareke, ki rangi tāhua, tēnei, te whatu kei o kei te kauhanga tapu te Māori. Tū te whiwhia anuku, tū te whiwhia rangi. Kei te whiwhia I waho, ke te rawea I waho, puritia mai I waho, tāwhia mai I waho. Tēnā te Māori ka whakapiki, tēnā te Māori ka whakakake. Tēnā te Māori ke tēnei ariki, ke tēnei tauira Māori, kei runga kei arangi nui te Māori. Ka puta te Māori ki te whaiao, ki te o mārama. Kia tūturu o whiti whakamaua, kia tīna haungi. Ui e, tai ki e. Mario.
Thank you, Peter. Our taking of the Korowai, as it's handed to us as the second custodian, as it's handed to us from Littleton Port, is representative of our commitment to the Whaka-Ora Whole of Harbour Catchment Management Plan, and in fact our commitment to Whakaraupo and the whole of the harbour catchment. It represents our commitment to partnership, to community involvement, to working together with our partners and with the community. It represents our commitment to a ki uta ki tai approach, from the hills to the sea. It represents our commitment to the care and custodianship of the whole of the Whakaraupo catchment. It shows the importance that we attach through this plan to the environmental, to the ecological, and to the cultural values which are so well expressed in Whaka-Ora. It also shows the importance that we attach with our partners to the health of the harbour and to the restoration of Mahinga Kai and the Mahinga Kai values, which have been a focus and an aspiration of Ngāti Wheke for so many years. All of this work is important to achieving the shared vision and the shared outcomes of the plan, as set out by the partners, and the achievement particularly in the short term of the priority actions. Our care and custodianship of the Korowai and the way that the Korowai keeps the plan warm is symbolic of our care and custodianship of Whakaraupo, and the way that we value our custodianship of the Korowai for the next year is representative of the care and the custodianship that we, with the partners, have of Whakaraupo Littleton Harbour. I'd like to take the opportunity to acknowledge the role, the involvement, the passion and the collaboration that I personally have enjoyed and that Council has been privileged to be a part of from our partners in developing this plan, Ngāti Wheke, Ngāi Tahu, Environment Canterbury and Littleton Port. And I'd also like to acknowledge our own Council staff who have seen me so well supported in my role as Council's representative on the governance group. I'd also like to take the opportunity, this is probably the last time, Peter, we'll see you in an official capacity, to acknowledge the commitments that Peter has shown, not only to this plan, but to the improvement of the health of the harbour during his tenure as Chief Executive of Littleton Port. So thank you, particularly, Peter, to you for the work that you've done, and we look forward to continuing to work in that space. So thank you, particularly to the partners, for the opportunity not only to be part of this handover today, but to be part of this very important work that we're all doing. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa.
This morning.
Crack it on TV.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Ko Yvette Couch-Lewis ahau. Kia ora, I'm the chairperson of the Whaka-Ora Catchment Plan Governance Group, and I just would like to thank you for the opportunity to be able to come today to be able to, to be able to hand over the Korowai, but more importantly to be able to update you in terms of the importance and the significance of this plan and the 3-year commitment that you as councillors have for this council and taking that into whakaraupua. And I would like to be able to just give you a bit of the whakapapa around it and how we came about to this very day where this Korowai is in with you at the moment. So, which one do I push? That one? Okay, there we go.
It's gone. Page down. Yep. There you go. It just takes a second. Oh, it's
It's not showing.
Oh,
there
here we
you
go.
are.
Thank you. Okay, so what is the plan? What is this plan? So first of all, it's a non-statutory catchment plan. And I've actually been pulled up a couple of times in actually saying that it's non-statutory. But in actual fact, it's okay that it's non-statutory, but the importance of your role is to make sure that it is not kept within a drawer. That the one thing about this plan, with it being non-statutory, is that it is a living document, and it is one that can be implemented and should be out on the table and should be discussed regularly. So it's, even though it's not regulatory, it still carries the mana that is behind it because of that partnership. So the purpose of it came out of the recovery plan, the Littleton Port Company recovery plan, and from that plan, one of the things that the commissioners saw was the passion and the commitment from the community that was talked about the Mahinga Kai, but it was out of scope. So what they did was they then put into the decision a recommendation for the community and for the partners to work together for the benefit of Mahinga Kai, for the ecological values within Mahinga Kai. So, that one, sorry. So, in doing that, we looked at, so again, we've looked at the recovery plan, the hearings process. So what we did then was we had to go through a process in terms of writing this plan. So the first 3 years was made up of looking at bringing those partners together, how they will actually work together. Then we got together with the science group. We pulled together different groups to be able to get the information that was needed to be able to write this plan. Then we started. The third year was implementation. And can I say that one of the key things for the governors was that it was with the working group first, but with the governors it was about leadership. It was taking leadership of this document, the belief that they have about this commitment that was here. So from that, it's not only just a document. How did that Korowai come about? The Korowai came about because, as I said, don't put it into your drawers. Please don't put it into your drawers. Make it the living document it is. So what Rapaki did was, we decided and talked amongst ourselves in terms of the concept of a Korowai. Currently now, we have placed at the launch in March, we placed a Korowai over Whaka-Ora. It is on Whaka-Ora right now. That cloak is a protection mechanism that goes around it. We acknowledge that the harbour is degraded. However, we acknowledge that we cannot do it alone. We need you and the community to be all working together for the health and well-being of the harbour. How do we know that we have achieved that? The Korowai is taken away. The day that we all stand together and take the Korowai off that plan is the day we know we have achieved our goal and the aspirations of the Littleton Harbour. The Korowai, if you look down, I sat with Reihana Parada. She is a recognised weaver internationally and nationally, and of course she is our local kaumātua at Rapaki. We sat with her and we started to talk to her about weaving a Korowai. The Korowai represents every species as we go down. Hopefully I'm going to... Yes, there we are. So, Kite Kitai, when we were looking at this plan, so it's from the mountaintops. No, go back to the one I had. So, the previous one. Kite Kitai is from the top, thank you, from the top.
No, the next one.
The top of the rocky outcrops going down to the middle, to the sea floor in Whaka-Ora. That is the key key focus that we had. We then looked at all the different species that were in there. And then we asked Auntie Joe, please tell us what are the species that make up this Korowai. So from the rocky outcrops, you will see in that Korowai, we start off with the kahu, with the hawk. We have the keteru, we have the pukeko, we have the rapo, we have the pawa. But you'll see down the bottom of the Korowai, there is actually a blacky grey feather that is in there. And that feather belongs to the titi, to the sooty shearwater. And when Auntie suggested that, I said to Auntie, but Auntie, we don't have them in the harbour. She said, no dear, but that's your aspiration. So it is not only what is existing, it is also the aspiration. The day that the titi are flying within Whaka-Ora, that Korowai is certainly complete. Kia ora. So in terms of the working together and the partnership when we're working together, I think it's really important to acknowledge the community as well. So it's not only those people that I said at the beginning in terms of who were there that helped us to actually write this plan. But we also worked within the groups to be able to work with the community as well. And any good plan, any aspirational plan is really important to get the community on board. And that is the one thing about this plan, is to do that. When you read it, it's not your normal plan. You can read this plan and you can actually understand it. Every member of our community can read this plan and they know exactly where they fit in terms of ki tai. That is one of the main critical points of this plan, is ownership, not only with you as a partner and the other partners, but the community that is actually involved as well. So I've just gone through the work that we have done so far. This is good. I'm actually getting ahead of my slides here, my presentation. So the thing is that with the community, I'd like to just tell you a story, because I can't help myself when it comes to actually talking, to actually put in a story to finish off with. Littleton Primary School Brendan invited me to come to the school and talk to them about this plan. Now, how do you go and talk to primary school kids about a plan, even if it is non-statutory? You know, and I went in there and I thought, well, I've just got to give this a go. And I spoke to them about ki tai and what that actually meant. Then I went back because I heard about all the good mahi that they were actually doing, work that they were doing, and they wanted to show me the kaitiaki of what they were doing. And we sat down and they had this presentation happening where each of the kaitiaki were telling me about the predator control, about the waterways, and they were going through. And then they presented me as they were going through. And I mean, it was just like this. And we've done this, and they hand it to me and they keep talking. I opened it up, and when I looked at it, I started to cry. And they kept talking. And I said to them, tai hoa, because what they did was they had got all the species within the harbour and they had done a work piece. You remember, well, you might not, but you might, but at my age, we used to get potatoes and we would draw and we would cut out designs and then into paint and put them onto paper. They did that of all the species that were in the harbour. And it was beautiful. It's hanging on our on the wall at Rapaki. And to me, that spoke that when I went in and told them about this plan, they got it. My challenge to you is get it, read it, understand it, get behind it, support Andrew, support his staff in making sure that one day we can take that Korowai off of that plan. Kia ora. Kia ora. Any questions? Any questions? Any patai?
Any of the councillors have any questions?
I mean, just an acknowledgement to say thank you for the work that everyone's done on it. It does appear to me, as a councillor who hasn't been involved because that's not my geographic area, that it could be a model for other waterways or catchments. I just wondered if you had any thoughts about how transferable the process and the co-creation governance was from this model to other areas within our region.
Kia ora. Most definitely, we have been approached by a number, not only Runaka, but other organisations. Can I also say that we had a very proud moment this year where we won an award, which you have here, which is up the top there. It's the Whaka-Ora award that we got from the New Zealand Planning Institute for recognition of how the plan was written and the integration. So it's not only recognised locally, but it's also had the recognition nationally as well. And the challenge really is at the moment is the implementation. As I said, we're in the implementation stage. We have hired a person who is doing that at the moment and working with all the community groups. We have a number of runs on the table, so that's really good. So within the first 3 years, we have managed to write, launch, to implement and to get runs on the board. We are now, the governors are going into a strategic phase where we're starting to look at strategically how we as leaders can start to take it to that next level. That's where we are. So most definitely it is transferable because it's so easily read.
It actually was raised at the council meeting yesterday, and Councillor Johansson has been a strong advocate for taking the principles of Whaka-Ora and applying them across our other waterways, our precious waterways. And it does seem to me that what you've described today is the essence of a collaborative process that is both evidence-based but also woven into it these incredible stories that then inspire a new generation to start thinking about the things that truly matter. And I think that's really what I've got out of this morning, which I think has been an incredible way to hand over the Korowai and to acknowledge you, Peter, too, for a tremendous number of years' service to not only our community but also to the region as a whole. And I'm glad that I get the opportunity to do that here before you leave. But in this context of such a powerful legacy for the future, when we can take the Korowai off the plan, then we are going to be in a position to be extremely proud of the legacy that we've all contributed to in our own way. But I agree with Councillor Johansson, that the waterways of our city and our region could benefit from the collaborative approach, the stepped approach, the science approach, the evidence approach, but also the stories that tell our history, our natural history, which of course goes back a long way before European settlement, and the story of the species that existed in this environment a long time before changes were made that then saw that species find other homes. So, welcoming back sooty shearwater will be a welcome one. I don't know in my lifetime, but certainly something that is aspirational, and to have the aspiration measured in the Korowai is just incredible. So thank you very much for a powerful presentation. I know that all of the councillors have appreciated it. So I would like now perhaps to invite you all and our guests here in the room to join us for a cup of tea. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā rā tātou katoa.
I don't usually follow this process, but since we've got such a rangatira here, we're going to have morning tea. So, you're all invited.
Yeah, thank you.